empty. Yeah. llvm and clang have been linked statically indeed. This was the one, right? Yep. Just put a breakpoint there. Now let's see if debugging has improved. Before I could not print this value. Let's see if that is possible. Yes. Well, 0 is as good as any value, I suppose. Although, is it? What is the main file anyway? What is the source? What the heck? I seem to remember that there was a value 1 at some point. So I'm not sure. Well, 0 probably is the first one then, but still. Is this the correct ID? Yeah, this is the first line where the ID is created. And this is created from the input buffer. We don't have anything better than that. So I'm going to say that this FID is the one that belongs to my test file, foo.cpp. Which is, I don't know where. Probably here, maybe. Or not. No, it's not. Down. Also not. What? There it is. And it is 1. Yeah. Then, what is 0 then? What is 0? Yes, it is a file. Damn it, already. Should have done finish. To these fields. Get location for start of file FID. So this is just literally, of course, like the error says, apparently. There is no file location or file associated in the first place with FID 0. What happens if I just force this thing to 1? Can it find anything then? So let's rerun this. Continue. Step. Now it works. See? The ID is wrong. There's something wrong with my ID. I mean, I have an ID of 1, then that is my file. And the main file has an ID of 0, and I don't even know what that is then. I have only one file. So why? How? Where did it get ID 1 from? And why does it return 0 for the main file? See, that's what they want to see. Now it still crashes, but this is the beginning that we want to see. Analyzing that file. So let's concentrate on the ID thing, which is called, what was it? I had it here, highlighted, file ID. Holy, get that up. Just my own source code. Oh, that's already a lot of them. So we have a create file ID, and that one gives me 1. So I would say then 0 already exists at that point, right? So maybe I could put a breakpoint there and then see where the 1 is created. That exactly comes from. Oh, that's not useful. And foo.cpp. So we're gonna enter create file ID, I hope, at some point here. Let's try finish. And now we're back there. Do a step again and a finish again, and now we're back there. Create file ID. Okay. What is loaded ID then? That is 0. Suspicious. You get a name here, that's also nice, of course. That should be the foo.cpp. Gotta do next, print name. Foo.cpp, absolutely. And this, can I print that? That would be nice. That's ID 0. Include location. But it's a source location, not a file ID. Yeah, still. Let's just do a step here. Where are we? Frame. Yep, step, implementation. Create file ID. Step. Finish. Oh, we know. This is at the return. Return value is. Nobody knows where we are now. Step. Now we are in create file ID implementation. Yeah, we just passed everything on, right? So this is the file name. Still foo.cpp. And then we have include pos. What is that? That is 0. I think I'm gonna say that's where this file was included, which is not true, of course. Well, character loaded ID, that was also 0. Loaded offset. Where do you even get that from? Loaded ID is less than 0, so it cannot be less than 0 apparently. So I'm happy with the 0 then. File size, file get size. Yeah, so that is something non-zero, right? Yeah, looks good. Need conversion. What is that? We don't need conversion. Next local offset plus file size plus 1 is larger than next local offset and blah 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 blah. Diagnostics report. So this is not happening then, I guess. Local slog entry table. Pushback is log entry get next local offset file info get include pos file gar file name. We do have +1 here because you want a source location that means the end of the file, e.g. for the no new line at the end of the file diagnostic. Okay, our 1 is returned here, so this is going to be the 1. File ID get local slog entry table size -1. Okay, so the size is 2. Apparently at the moment we get this 1. So we just have to, we have just 2 files, means that there is already something in the table. And we are going to add 1 now, which is correct. So at the moment you are at that pushback. So what is now in there, so the size of this thing is currently 1, and what is in there is considered to be file ID 0. What is the type at all? It is a small vector implementation of slog entry. What the hell that is? Source manager. What's the S mean here? Source location, I think. So entry, a source location entry. Okay, so yeah, I guess now we know where it is stored. The 0 comes from the 1 comes from the fact that there is already something in it, and so the reason that we don't get 0 but we get 1, and more notably the thing that is added that we have to identify, what the hell is it, is whatever was already added to this table. So we have to create some kind of watch point for the size of this table. Yeah, at first I need to know when it is empty, so I need to know where this table here is created. What is it part of? And we are now in in the clang library. That looks like a member then. It's a member of the source manager. Well, that's easy enough then. That means that I created a source manager, and that thing will have the entry table, which is a small vector. Okay. So I need to identify where my I can jump to, yeah. This is not colored because I'm not tagging all the .cpp files. I think that would be just getting too slow. Not needed yet. Okay, so source manager. I think I created it myself. Oh, this gives a lot every time. Here's my source manager. So that gets initialized after this point. Basically, it should be empty, I think. I'm not too sure actually, but we can try that. Hopefully it's still empty after creating the parser itself. Thus parser at this point, which would be 12 to 12. Oh, lots of stuff. I can just put a breakpoint here. 2:12 run. So we have the parser here, which has big. It has a what was the name? Source manager. It's still big. And you just increase what the, I mean, sorry. Excuse me. I'm hitting enter and nothing happens. L, oh, there's just nothing, okay. Yeah, the source manager. I want to print one of the things from it. But what was it that you wanted to print? Yeah, this one. Member. So finally something manageable. Oh, it has already a size of 1. Well, then you have to be quicker with let's just put a breakpoint on the constructor of the source manager, I guess. Top. Is that the only one? Wait a minute. Frame 0. Just up. I'm calling the default constructor. No, wait a minute. We need a source manager. Now I don't see the source manager anymore. This is part of options. No, it's here. Also default constructor then. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, indeed. Two things, okay. Do we call that right? There's 2 arguments. We set a breakpoint at break. Yeah, 1, 2. Okay, so that is the right position, and then let's just run it again. Run, yes. Now we are at that constructor. This thing has 3 arguments. But yeah, it is a source. It is I guess pass to, but this one had a default or something. So this is the constructor. Now we are going to construct apparently the default constructor here. So let's put a breakpoint at 311 and it should be constructed. Or I can just do next. That is too slow. It's gonna show you all the constructions of all the members. Okay, continue. Now we have the source manager. Print. And then of course I forgot what the name was again. The local source location entry table. Yeah, of course. I knew that. No, not. And the size is still 1. What the hell? How can it already be filled? Starts to get annoying now. Let's try to find that constructor. This is the constructor. And I have a breakpoint over here. But well, clear doesn't look like it adds something. Would it? Should it? And there's like no way that this adds something. Diag. File manager? Oh, this is just not even mentioned. No, new trick then. Up. This is where we enter the constructor of the source manager. So let's break there then. I'm going to delete everything and then we break at line 11 here. So if now I do a run from the start, definitely size cannot be 1. It is not even constructed at the moment, right? We do have an address though, I can print it. Oh, it's not even that big. I can probably locate the small vector here. Is that it? Where's the name? Something with table. Capacity, size, file manager, have current pointer end slips, capacity, size, inline, blips, custom size slips. I just don't see it. It's amazing, but nope. This is a source manager. Why does this source manager suddenly not have what I'm looking for? That's this thing. It does not have a name. Well, it should be this thing. Sure. That's just what? It's just not there. It's not there, but you can print it. Yeah. Anyway, it's clearly not initialized. So I'm gonna put a watch point on this value, and either it becomes 1 directly or it becomes 0 first. Either is good for me. So can we print? This thing does not have a name. Begin X, commas, capacity, no, not capacity, size. Yes, so yes, we have it, and I need the address of the thing, and then yeah, it's on the stack. Why is it on the stack? Because my parser is on the stack. Okay. Watch the contents of this memory location. Continue. 0. That's what I mean. Size is initialized with 0 here. Now I can just do continue because not that size is being initialized here, but I suppose it's an initialized word is declared. Continue 1. Yeah, and this is where it happens. Set size. Wow. Someone is calling set size on my vector. This does not construct or destroy any elements in the vector. Explain. It's called a vector, but it is not really a vector. It just sets the size. Yep. This size plus 1. Okay, where are we? Oh, but we're doing a pushback. Ah, doing a pushback. No problem, no problem. I'm seeing it. Yep. Element pointer, I'm guessing that, yeah. Else is an element. So we are pushing back an element. That's the element then. Maybe you can even print what the element is. Completely unclear what this is. Everything is 0. Well, almost. Expansion is token range. It's not 0. Here is expansion. Okay, what the hell is that? I guess this is a source location entry. Being an expansion. I have no idea what it is. Someone knows, then that is the one that pushes back. So that would be here. Create expansion location. Ah. Push back an expansion location. Info, yeah, it's just 694 where it happens. I guess the question is, what is this function doing? Something more intelligent than just pushing back? Seems not. Create expansion location. And then the implementation thereof. Unsigned length 1. Loaded ID 0. Set also 0. Loaded is less than 0. Loading Sentinel file ID. That doesn't happen. Index is minus loaded ID minus 2. Yeah, whatever. Already loaded. No, this inside this thing, which never happens. So we just, yeah, okay. So we call this bang pushback. Just a pushback. Nothing special. Yep. So this returns the create expansion location implementation from inside source manager create expansion location. Now we can find documentation of that, hopefully. The very idea that they would have documentation. Just like my source code, also no documentation. It's a lot again. I should just use a search. That worked. Oh yeah, creates an expansion source location entry. Oh, for macro use. You have a new keyword. Macros are involved. Returns its start. The macro body begins at spelling location with length. The macro uses span. The macro use spans expansion location start to expansion location end. Now, if only we could print that, or actually, if I just had the name of the macro, that would be shine a light on it. No. No, don't get it. Clear ID tables. So it was that function. Clear ID tables. Use up file ID 0 as invalid expansion. Aha. Okay. So it's nothing. I don't know what an expansion is, but this one is invalid. Maybe it's literally nothing and we just don't want to have 0 being used as a valid file ID. So that we can return 0 in the case that it is invalid. Something like that, I guess. I mean, it's like literally called clear. So this thing must have no meaning whatsoever. Okay, well, yeah. 0 is nothing. Okay. Invalid something, an invalid expansion even, whatever that is. I think I am going to ask though my LLM what an expansion is in this scenario or whatever. Yeah, let's just continue this. The oxygen talks of what is it? Source manager is llvm clang. Of lib clang or whatever as the description of source manager expansion location. Nobody understands where that ended up. Yeah, it comes also with a macro expansion. So I think it knows what it's talking about. Here's the concept. The macros define code templates. You use define to create a macro, which is essentially a named piece of code, possibly with parameters. Define square, blah blah, macro definition. Define debug print message, send it out debug message, another definition. Macro invocation. You use the macro name in your code, possibly providing arguments. I knew that. 36. The expansion step. The C/C++ preprocessor, which clang preprocessor models, replaces the macro invocation with the body of the macro definition. Okay, still don't know why it is called expansion, but go on. It gets expanded, so that's it. Okay, so expansion is literally only macros, because you can expand a macro. Okay, replace it with the code that it is defined as. Get expanded into that. The location problem. After expansion, the code logically exists where square a+1 used to be. However, there is an error inside this expanded code, maybe type base byte, etc. Where did that code really come from? It's executed at a line, but it was spelled out. We saw the spelled also. The spelling location. Yeah, cool. At the line. There, okay. Source manager and create expansion locations rule. The source manager needs to track these complex source mappings. An expansion location created by create expansion location is a special type of source location that encodes both pieces of information. Expansion location, where the macro was invoked to use this, is represented by the expansion location start and end parameters passed to create expansion location. This tells clang where the code logically appears after preprocessing, and the spelling location where the source code that was substituted originally came from, the text inside a micro definition. This is represented by the spelling location and length parameters. In essence, create expansion location registers a mapping. The code spelled out at blah, 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 blah. No. Yeah, okay. Now we know what it is. So everything seems to make sense, except that I get back an ID of 0 at some point for my file. Let's keep my rubber duck involved. So, thanks. Stay on the good side of the LLMs. They will read it back in 10 years. How was Carlo treating my grandfather? During the construction of our source manager, with its default constructor. That constructor calls No, we are in the harder. Now I get 1. Okay, so I worked on it wrong. And the fun I'm gonna get back here is 1, sorry. It's ID 1, because 0 was already taken. No, it goes wrong later on, so we have to go next. And then next. Yeah, next. So after that we get You have to remember, I have absolutely no clue how to use llvm or clang, and there is no documentation. So I'm heavily invested here in using LLM as a means of documentation, and it is not doing bad. But yeah, we also have this error now in code written by the LLM, basically. You've done excellent job tracking this down. You're not blah blah blah. Snore. Yes, source manager's default state reserves file ID 0 presented by file ID get invalid. Okay. Or a default constructed file ID for internal use, often related to invalid locations or the initial expansion context setup you found in clear ID tables. Yes, create file ID correctly gives you the next available valid ID, which is 1 in this case. Yes, preprocessor enter main source file explicitly calls source manager get main file ID to determine which file it should treat as the primary input for the translation unit. Yes, the core problem is that you never told the source manager that the file ID you just created, the FID with value 1, is the main file. The missing piece. You need to explicitly designate the file ID obtained from create file ID as the main file for source manager. Solution. Let's add one line probably, but let's add 30,000 tokens by beginning at the very beginning of the how those guys make their money. It's, oh, actually, it's an abbreviation here. Wow. So add a call to source manager set main file ID right after you successfully create the file ID. Modify parser process input buffer. I must say it's skipping stuff. Okay, process input buffer then. Create file ID invalid. This is the fix. Tell the source manager that FID represents the main source file. Copy. That is happening before, well, directly after register the buffer. Create, yes, get grep source, register the buffer. Oh, of course it's a capital R, which is parser.cxx line 30. Uh-oh. Yeah, I did do a Pacman SYU and rebooted, and ever since I have this problem. Actually, I had that problem already immediately after before rebooting. I'm gonna guess the problem here is my stuff. Well, my stuff got broken. This is clearly some kind of color, but it also doesn't even open the editor. So if something goes wrong in VI, which is my script, such that it doesn't open the editor but prints failed error codes of color codes or something like that. I blame the 30. Nope, it's completely broken now. That's very interesting. I wanted to add this. Why is this not working? Which VI? Does this still exist? Just wondering. Yes, big thing. This is executed with. Oh, we can't do that either, of course. Let's run llvm. Okay, in the end, I'm running nvim, or is it called llvm? Nvim, I think. Okay, no, nope, it is nvim, and I can't even run that. So then it's not this thing. Which nvim? Nvim troop. Nvim stopped working. I so have no time for this. We can no longer edit. How about in this window? Maybe it refuses to edit because this thing was open. No, this was another one. Let's open this one. Yeah, it's something in the environment maybe. My environment. There's a lot of NVM stuff. Why? Ridiculous. I have more NVM stuff than I want. So it does get confused by this. That's weird. That is really weird. Oh, why? So did I now fix it? Let's try this again. Yeah, that was it. Nobody knows who is setting this though. Why is that being set? And in the meantime, of course, we completely lost. That's also not here because it's not stored in history. Just copy it again. It was here all along. The crucial fix. Tell source manager that FID represents the main source file without telling source manager that FID represents the main source file. Oh no, that's something else. Okay, let's try the make CW format. Oh, I should go to bed. It's past midnight here. slowly, very slowly, but certainly we're having some progress. So compare this output. Line 1, I guess it's this, column 1, okay. Comment, yay, we detected a comment. Length 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Printed there, that's the text of the comment. Awesome. New lines are not mentioned. But we know that this is line 3, so maybe you can guess that line 2 was empty. Column 1, identifier. Length 4, text char. Okay, this is an identifier apparently. I would call it a type actually. I would have liked it if it would have called it a type. But since we are not including headers, it's probably too hard to recognize every type. And again, also line 3, column 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess. Identifier, length 3, bar. We don't talk about the semicolon. Oh, we do talk about the semicolon. Yeah, pretty awesome. So that would be columns 9, I suppose. Length 1, yep. And then we core dump, because the next one is a macro. But I'm going to bed. Yep. Cool. Sam, yeah, I didn't see you there. Now I do. Is it a particular day today? No, it's just 8 April. You know what? Maybe I should push something in the meantime before I lose everything because someone breaks into my house and steals my PC. Do I even want to add clang format? No, no. What is this? It's not my file, but I'm curious. Probably something written by the LLM. Oh no! It's written by from Discord. Forgot his name. They have different names on Discord and on YouTube, so I keep confusing people anyway. Yeah. Git add. Just add everything. No, I don't add that. I don't need that yet. Not really. Not really. I think that's all. All you need is these files. Status, add the rest. Just as you git commit. VIP on. I'm gonna call it libclang, although we use llvm as well. It's mainly libclang. Maybe it's even libclang CPP. I don't know. I don't know. Code parsing stuff. Is it parsing? I don't know. I don't know. Git push. Everyone can play with this push. Let's lose a game of chess and then I go to bed. Chess. Tomorrow again on a real game over the board. This time in the evening. Okay, what is this? I'm gonna win on time like that. Dubious. I think I'm gonna take it. Why not? At the very least we did win some kind of tempo, but now this comes and then I have to go back again. Do I want that? Could go here. That's not castle long. Actually, I have that square. What am I threatening here? Nothing. Go back here. That would be as equally lame. Maybe I should have pushed this pawn first, and I now could have pushed this pawn. That would have done something. I'm just gonna castle. I refuse to go back, so let's go here. Blocking my open file. No, let's go here. With absolutely no room to go anywhere. Okay, I have to go here. Cannot do that now. Maybe like this. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Horrible. And now that. Thou shall not double my pawns. Okay, he's getting very annoying. So the other day I had won a beautiful game, a 5-minute game on light chess, and then I went to teach chess to the kids, like I do on Thursdays, every other Thursday. And proudly I was presenting my game there, of course. Yeah. And I was saying he and him as well, you know, then my opponent and blah, 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 he, blah, 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 blah. But then suddenly my eye felt on the name of the player that I had won against. So I wanted to correct myself, and I said to those boys, they're like all 12, 13 years old, by the way. So I said, this is not good actually. Well, maybe I can push it. No, also not. Okay, I'm gonna lose my pawn. Ugh. I should finish my story. So it's like, oh no, I see it's probably a she, because she's called Helena 2012. Oh my god. That was actually funny. Of course it was funny. Bleep. Oh boy. This is not going well for me, is it? Do I get this one? Yeah, I should give up. I can still defend it like that, though. And then he takes it, and I cannot take back. No, it's not possible. At least this one is born in the year 123. Not as embarrassing. Okay, I have an idea. I'm dying. Take like this. I can just take like this. I'll give a. I don't know. I got this one. Yeah. You know, goes here, and then I'm almost mate. I think that would be actually a good move. I have to do something like not this pawn, because then it's check and mate. The rook cannot help. No, that's not good. That was winning. Well, it's winning. It is winning anyway, of course. But that it would have been winning way harder. No, move the rook. Attack something. Ah, no. If you do that, then I'm gonna resign. Well, no, not yet. I never resign. Take with this one. Ah, that's the wrong one. What are you doing? Stupid. Okay, let's make a stalemate. There's still hope. I just have to maneuver myself in a position where where none of my pawns can move anymore. And then give away my rook. Unexpectedly. This is not going to help, of course. But, uh-oh. Do you think we are going to manage? Let's see. The queen comes here. There's no stalemate. At least my pawn has to move forward. Yeah, now you get check. A rook check, probably the fastest. Does not want to give check. No, still no check. No mate. A bit of luck, I'm gonna win on time. That would be mate. No, it's not mate actually. Queen here, and take the rook. Don't think black can allow that. Bishop, queen. So it's getting lame. I'm giving the guy a chance to gracefully win. No. At this rate, I'm gonna resign before the mate. There. I bet he missed mate in 2 like 5 times in a row. Or she. Yeah, okay. So that was that costed half my subscribers, if I have any left. As it should. I'm going to bed. Good night.